Hi, this is Ka. It's been a while since I last uploaded a YouTube video, but I wanted to give you an update how the 2025 is going, talk about 2026 planner plans, and it's already August, and I start classes again in September, and it'll be hectic. So I wanted to give you an update, upload a video during my summer break. So I don't think I talked about this in a YouTube video, but I was briefly in an A6 Hobonichi Techo for 2 weeks, but realized that was not going to work. So I went back into my standard tan size common planner, but everything else has stayed exactly the same. My 5-year Techo that I turned into a 10-year Techo, I'm on year 2. This will stay the same next year as well. I am 2 months behind in filling up the days, but I do microjournal in here every single day, so I reference that when I'm filling this back up, but I am 2 months behind. I just have to buckle down and fill up the entries, but I was able to get something written for every single day in 2024, so I'm pretty sure I can do that for 2025, but I'm 2 months behind. And then this is my study planner. It will stay exactly the same for 2026. I have 2 A5 covers that I like to use for this setup. This is the Planner Perfect one, and I have a Chic Sparrow one, and it looks exactly the same because they both have black leather and white stitching, but this is matte, and the Chic Sparrow one is very glossy, so depending on my mood, I like to switch it up, maybe once, twice a year. But I have the same insides, so one really chunky notebook for my class notes, and I think I'll be able to fit next semester in here, and it'll be my last semester of coursework, so I'll have all my PhD class notes in here. I have the Muji calendar insert that covers multiple years, and so I think that's like the best to have in my study planner. I did buy this folder from Muji, and I put in spare loose sheets of paper in here. So yes, I have that. I have this P&D notebook. It's a Korean brand, and this uses Tomoever paper, but they switched things up a bit, and they have a new notebook, which I'll show you in a bit, and I also got that. I do think I'll run out of pages in this one during the second part of this year. And I have 2 Sterling ink booklets, just grid, Tomoever paper booklets, small thin inserts, which I use for terminology and bibliography. But this will stay exactly the same next semester and next year. Next semester, it'll stay the same for next semester, the second half of 2025. It might change for 2026. And that depends on my plans for 2026, which are not set in stone yet. So I can't really say a lot about that. But this is my EDC, and I don't think I talked about the cover on YouTube as well. I had gotten it a few months back from Handstitchedleathert. I love it. It's the black. I think the leather is just black. It's called black. And it's very stiff, and I like that. It's very smooth, and I like that. This is the chunky belt closure, and I do have like marks on it now. And on the left hand side, I have this pocket configuration, and at the back I have this configuration, and the belt and the pen loop. I wish I had gotten a different pen loop, but it's okay. But I don't use that pen loop that much. So the setup in here, I have my Slim Weekly, and I will use the Slim Weekly for the second half of this year, and this is for the second half of this year. I switched it up because the Slim Weekly, you can fit 6 months in it, so I switched it to the second booklet for this year. And next year it'll also pretty much stay the same, so I'm setting up my 2026 Slim Weekly inserts. And then I have my common planner. It's the compact version because of my reference insert, I can't really fit a chunkier one, and I liked the cover of this one. I didn't really like the cover of the full year one, like the really chunky one. So I got this, and I'm glad I got it. And then this is my reference insert, and this stays the same year after year. So this will not change unless I change into a different size, which is a different matter. But if I stay in a standard TN size, I will use that. And thoughts on my 2026 planner plans. I do want to sort of switch things up a bit and try out different layouts and things like that. So I'm not sure which one I will get. But if I stay with the standard TN size and I want to try out a different notebook, my main priority is getting one with thin paper. It doesn't have to be Tomoe River paper, but I don't have any issues with Tomoe River paper. I use a gel pen and a ballpoint pen, and I don't really use fountain pens in my planners, so I'm happy with just thin paper. And it has to be 52 GSM like Tomoe River paper is, or 50 GSM. Just yes, it has to be thin paper. I realized I prefer thin paper, and that is a deal breaker, I think, if it's thicker than that. So yes, but I am sort of debating between a standard TN size and a B6 size, because I get that urge from time to time to go into a B6 or try a different size, but it's always a B6 or a standard TN, I think. No, not always, but I'm now thinking about a B6 or a standard TN size. I'm undecided. But that is that. And I've shown you this before, but I keep extra notebooks for when I finish my current study planner inserts. So I have a really chunky one, I have a thinner one. They're both from Sterling Ink. I have the booklets, also Sterling Ink booklets, and the Muji calendar insert, which I've already dated. But I also got this from a local brand. I'm in Korea. This is a Korean brand, and I think they developed their own paper, so they call it Slim Proof 50, and it's 50 GSM, and the brand is Biondi, and it is very nice paper, but it's very thin. The notebooks are very thin, so I prefer to use this for my non-class related notes, because I would have to switch them out quite a bit. But I like the paper a lot. Yes, and I just wanted to show you that as well. But for at least the second half of this year, this will stay exactly the same. For next year, this will stay the same, and standard I might be in a standard TN, or I might go into a B6, not decided yet. But I will also do updates when it's when we get the stuff for 2026, when we make all the purchases, get all the planners for 2026. I will also do an update video for that. But yes, it's a fairly short video. I hope it was interesting, and I'll be back sometime to do that update. Thank you so much for watching.